What on earth is going down today? Well, today is Dorito Day on one little RX7. Ready for some trailer action.
How do I get out? Mommy!
Yo, on the road once again. So yeah, I didn't get back till about 2:30 last night. Got about 4 or 5 hours sleep, and now we're on the way to Devon. It's quite a fair old distance. I think about 3 hours from here. How many miles is it? I can't see how many miles, but yeah, it's quite a fair old distance. I'm off to see a very famous chap called Ross at Dragon Performance. Dragon Performance have been around for quite a long time. I remember them back in the sort of fast car and max power days. Ross used to have the fastest RX7 in Europe, I think for about 5 or 6 years until the record got broken. Needless to say, if you've got a rotary car and you want a specialist, he's your man. The main aim with this FC is to try and achieve a reliable 400 horsepower. There's a lot of consensus on the internet that rotaries aren't reliable, but that's not the case. It's usually the people that sort of mess about with them that kind of make them unreliable. But yeah, Ross is going to be here to dispel some of those myths and help me fix some of the bodge jobs on the car. Like I said before, the car's not in horrendous condition, but there's been a few questionable bits of work done on it. So yeah, Ross is going to basically help me go through the whole car, work out what we need to do to get it working properly and reliable, stick a massive turbo on it, map it, and see what happens. Anyway, enough jibber jabber for one morning. I've got a fair old journey to crack on with, so yeah, see you guys down in Devon shortly. So right, we are stuck in traffic for a little bit, so I thought I'd show you guys the wonderful delights of Stonehenge. Many stones are present. I got 50 Bentleys in the West Indies. Don't believe it, just watch. Right, I think we have made it. Ladies and gentlemen, I did get a little bit lost, not gonna lie. I ended up on an airfield and I tried to get out the other side of it and there was a lock gate, so I just spent half an hour going around in circles. Where is Dragon Performance? Ah, found him. Hey, look at that, that's sick. You can tell we're at Dragon Performance because A, there's a dragon, and B, there's an RX7 on top of a container. As you do. Oh, Monky's excited, man. Hello, doggies. Who's this? Hey, George. Oh, you can't eat my camera. Hey, Ross, how you doing?
How you doing, alright?
Cool, man. Oh, yeah, you got a very excited young man.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
You can tell we are at Dragon Performance because we have an array of rotors on the gate. Pretty cool. Right, let's have a look. This is a pretty special garage, man.
Thank you.
So that's not your famous one.
No, that famous one's up there. That's the kind of most iconic one.
And that's really what is sort of synonymous with Dragon Performance, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the first one I started at my parents' place and bought one and then started working on it. And then started tuning it, quarter mile, started getting faster and faster, then started renting a place, and then we set the we were kind of chasing the English title, then the European title. That's a 2-rotor, so that's a 1300, and it was about 1,000 horsepower. Pretty wild for on normal petrol, because most people go to methanol.
Yeah. And what sort of quarter mile time?
Yeah, the fastest we did was like a 9.1.
1.1.
And I think that was maybe 13 years ago now. I was into like water injection and stuff like that back then, and people were like, what the hell are all these nozzles and stuff? And yeah, went to the drag strip and we got the computer out, and all the old boys with the V8s would come over and like, oh, what's he doing here? He's got a laptop out. Yeah, it was like you were like a NASA friggin' engineer or something like that if you had that. So they're really cool times. They kind of were.
And what happened to that car?
That car got turned into a drift car.
Was that the pink one you had?
Yeah, it went like a light pink with graphics on it. The next one was the hot pink, yeah. A guy called Brad bought that in the end, and he did some mad drifting with that out in Romania and all sorts of stuff.
You can tell Ross did very well because he's got a huge amount of trophies. That is insane. I mean, I put a little thing on the internet, and most people said, "Where's the engine?"
Yeah,
the turbo's huge.
Yeah, so to explain to people, well, I built loads of RX7s and love the RX7's a beautiful looking car, and people were like, you love that, but I got kind of bored with it because we did like, there's another one. We did loads of RX7s. Yeah, we built so many. So, and I love this E30 look. So we got a 2-door non-sunroof. And then we said, well, the idea with any kind of race car is what you want all the weight in the centre of the car and as low as possible. So the stock engine, these are suspension turrets. You want this weight as far back, so our weight point is there at the end of the engine, yeah.
You sort of all modified all the bulkheads?
Yes, we've cut, and you can kind of see maybe more on this, say we've cut right into the bulkhead here, we've cut right back where the gearbox goes.
Custom tunnel.
The tunnel, yeah, everything. See, the driver's sitting right
so far back on you, yeah.
Yeah, so that's optimal weight distribution. And we kind of put the turbo forward, really, from a weight point of view. Should have been a bit further back, but it's kind of, it's the aesthetic. We want it to look cool as well.
So it's got
that's part of the art.
It's got that bling factor when you open the bonnet.
That's right, yeah. And also exhaust runners for a rotary should be about 12 to 18 inches is optimal. So it's kind of, it works well in that way.
What does this car roughly weigh, Ross? Or what will it weigh when you finish?
Yeah, we're on to weigh about 800 kilos, yeah. It weighs about 615 on the corner weights now, yeah.
Super light. And roughly how much horsepower are you aiming for?
I think about around 600. We can have more, it's not a big problem.
So I mean, it's going to be what, 800 brake per tonne?
Yeah, somewhere around that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Pretty extreme.
Yeah, so considering like the 35 GTRs are nearly 2 ton, so we're gonna be 800 kilos. Real tough for them.
Massive difference.
Even the plenum here. This is the plenum's flipped here, so we could get enough clearance to run it through there. The lower inlet manifold's got 3 inches taken out of it.
And all sort of custom fabrication in-house?
Yeah, that's all done in-house. We've got the RX7 engine here. We've got an RX8 gearbox here. And then we've put an RX7 diff, which you can see in there.
Oh yeah.
So we've got the RX7 diff. So we knew that power plant, that transmission would handle the power well.
So is the RX8 gearbox stronger than an RX7?
It's not stronger, it's slightly weaker, but it meant that we had 6-speed and it also put the gear stick in a better position for us. So we might go for an RX7 gearbox in the end, but it's all kind of experimental.
It's amazing to think as well just how kind of compact these engines really are, isn't it?
Yeah, that gives you, I mean, so we got, that's the one rotor housing, that's the other rotor housing, that's like 650, that's 650cc. Yeah, so that shows you literally how big they are.
Amazing. This is a pretty exciting car, so don't worry, Ross has promised me once it's finished, we can take it out and do a little review.
Yeah, we can.
We've got a lovely R32 here as well. I take it that turbo isn't stock.
Well, you can tell by the bonnet clearance. Here we go, you ready?
Look at that, man. Oh, it's crazy. What turbo is that, Ross?
That's the S400, that is, yeah.
It's a big old whistler.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So it's originally a 2.6 litre, all GTRs are, 32, 34,
RB26, yeah.
33, yeah, RB26. This one is a 3.4, so I think it's the first 3.4 litre.
Crazy, is that with
in Europe.
Striker kit?
Yeah.
God, that turbo is absolutely monstrous.
Yeah.
God. Crazy.
We mapped this one on 1000cc injectors, just didn't have enough fuel. And 1000cc, it's kind of with RB, it's meant to be like 440s will give you 440 horsepower. 1,000. We give you kind of 1,000, and then this turbo setup, yeah.
Quite cool up front. He's got R35 GTR brakes on the front.
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty comprehensive. Crazy fuel system in the back. So that's swirl pump.
Yes, we've got swirl port, got A1000 fuel pump. That's the wideband lambda sensor that I use for mapping. We just put that at the exhaust.
Oh yeah, cool.
Just fuel ratios.
2 external wastegates.
2 external wastegates, yeah.
And a screamer pipe literally coming out of the body.
Yeah, so these will both open up. The flames will come on there when it's on boost.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Can we please do a review on this?
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
What a noise. That sounds good. That sounds fast, man. What a beast.
I didn't even hear it spool up.
If that wasn't enough and that wasn't enough, what on earth is that? Well, I know it's a Lamborghini. Yeah, it looks like a pretty special one.
Yeah, it's a Gallardo GT3. There's only 49 in the world, so they came off the Lamborghini, they came off as a chassis, right in engineering for £250,000 roughly. They'll build you a GT3 car.
Crazy. There's
49 of them built, so it's just, it's just everything's done to it for GT3 racing.
I wouldn't want to go over any speed bumps.
I've driven this around, I've taken it into Exeter, I've taken it into Tesco's, yeah.
What kind of looks do you get when you drive around and something
it's
like
just
that?
people are like, wow, like, I think it's caused a few crashes.
People passing out on the
That's
road.
right, yeah. It was white when I got it, so Rap Capital did me this chrome blue finish, which was really cool. But this is literally like, it is a race car basically.
Things like polycarbonate windows all as it comes?
Everything here is as it comes,
Really?
yeah. So this is as it races. It's got air jacks. Well, I cut that bar up because it was just too much. I mean, do you want to try and get in it?
Yeah. God, this is amazing. Oh, wow, man.
Yeah, but imagine trying to drive that like down the high street,
Yeah,
park
you
up in
can't see,
Tesco's.
there's not a huge amount of visibility, is there?
No.
Must be mad driving this round, man.
Yeah, it's an aluminium shell, so they actually have to bolt in the cage.
Okay.
Because it's you can't weld aluminium.
You can't weld
steel.
to it, yeah.
But so coming up in the unit, it lifts 6 inches off the ground.
And what would this? How much lighter is this over a regular Gallardo?
It's half a ton lighter.
Half a ton,
Yeah.
500 kilos.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight, man.
It's crazy, yeah. On the Instagram, you don't be doing some donuts in it.
Review on this as well.
Yeah, we can.
I think I'm gonna move down here, man, and we're gonna show you what Ross has got going on next door in a little second because he's building a sick pad. The surprises don't stop. You've got something else exciting in here, and this is actually for some of our older viewers. This is quite a famous car.
You need to show the picture with the flames and the fire extinguisher.
And the extinguisher.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll put that down here for you guys to see.
There she is.
Oh man!
I know, look at we got some swallows up there, and they're nesting and they're kind of shitting all over the car, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but there she is.
Oh, I remember that. That was a real sort of cult classic car.
Yeah, it's still like rolling and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever sort of get this out and do anything with it?
Maybe, yeah. It might be a bit rusty these days, though.
Yeah, well, it was pretty rusty back in the day, wasn't it? Right, we're gonna have a quick little look up here. What have we got up here, everybody? Oh, what is this, everybody? I'm not very good with heights. Right, so what's the story with this, Ross? It looks a little bit rusty.
Yeah, it's a project that died.
Oh man.
I know.
Should we try and get it going again?
Yeah, if you want it, yeah. You could be your future drift car, I think.
This is a pretty next level car, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. All custom carbon bonnet.
Yeah.
It's quite mad. It's got like a sort of metal cover over the rear hatch. I think that's got something to do with like the fuel system they were going to fit. Yeah, pretty crazy looking car. God, this would have been absolutely next level. If you've taken a fancy to it, I'm sure if you offer Ross enough money, maybe he'll let you buy it. What do you reckon, Ross? You ever sell it?
Yeah, everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale. What's the price?
Negotiations. Yeah. You can take a cut out of it, alright?
There you go, heard it here first. If you want to make a bid on Ross's car, feel free to put a comment down below. The highest bidder might win it, might not, we'll let you know. Next up, we're going to have a look at, not a car, but a very, very cool house. This is going to be your house, eventually.
Yes, that's right, yeah. The only problem was I sold my flat in Exeter to pay for the house. but then the Lamborghini became for sale. So like
It's catch 22.
Yeah.
This is how you're so burly. This is your personal gym.
Yeah, we've got the gym. Yeah, that's
I won't show you what I can bench press, just so I don't embarrass myself.
And this is the kind of furniture we're going to have in there.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so we're going to have this like a little drinks cabinet and stuff, and we're going to have like a wrap where it's gone through the wall. So stuff like that.
That's
so
proper cool.
Yeah, so it's 4 bedrooms down here.
And you've got upstairs as well.
Yeah, we've got upstairs. That'll be the front door.
Yeah, cool. Oh, that's the front door, yeah. This is proper cool. It's kind of open plan kitchen over there.
Yeah, kitchen. Yeah, lounge. We do donuts and stuff from the concrete out there and everything.
It's kind of like a sort of mini UK hooligan.
Yeah, it could be.
Can I move in, man? Are you renting?
Yeah.
And you got a lovely view as well.
Yeah, we've got some nice. I put extra concrete so you can see some donut marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the V8 RX.
This will be the donut arena.
Yeah, and then we can kind of keep an eye on what's going on.
Oh yeah, through the window.
Yeah, that's what you see.
Yeah, cool. That's cool, man. Yeah. Hello! Hello! Now this is proper cool. Hello! You monster! Look at the size of this dog! Yeah, tiny. And it's called Tiny. Probably the worst name you could have called this dog. You are beautiful. And what type of dog is it again?
Well, I sold him as a Jack Russell. That's why I called him Tiny.
That is definitely not a Jack Russell, Ross.
No, he's a Malaklai from Turkey.
Okay, and
he's like an import. We got import cars, import dog.
And they're very rare here, you're saying?
I think it's the only one in the UK, only Malaklai, yeah.
It's absolutely massive, isn't it? He's literally bigger than me. RX7 is all unloaded. I'll give you that, sir. There we go. Maybe just take it up the roads. Absolute legend driving my car. I put too much two-stroke in it. I think so, yeah.
How they got rid of the power steering?
No, it's horrendous to drive, isn't it?
It's not fun, yeah.
Can we put power steering back in?
Yeah, we can.
Thank you.
The problem you've got, they've got rid of the power steering, but it's still going through the whole power steering system. So that's why it's so heavy.
Right.
So if you just had a manual rack, it would feel quite nice.
Yeah.
But you're trying to manually turn a power steering system.
It's impossible, yeah. I think best bet is just put the power steering back on.
Definitely the way.
Because you see me, I'm not quite as strong as he is. The gates have been opened. Ross is in the driver's seat. Right, the FC is in her new temporary home. Looking lovely and pretty. Shall we go through the car and see what on earth is wrong with it?
Should we see if it's got like a crumpled chassis and you've
No,
well and truly
don't tell me if you find that, man.
Okay, what lie? Shall I lie? Yeah, it's fine.
First thing, a little bit of rust.
It's not rust, it's air. And there's rust around it. But that's your spare wheel well. It's kind of cool on these, really easy to repair.
Is this quite a common problem purely because the water probably sits and sort of ingresses?
That's right, yeah. It's just because if you look on the top in the screen, it's quite a poor window seal. And also they're getting on, and that cracks, and the water drips straight into here.
It just collects
and
at
it
the
just
bottom.
all goes down to the bottom, just sits there.
Yeah.
It's really easy to repair. It's quite a cool spare wheel place, I think.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think that's kind of cool.
A little bit different, yeah. So that's the first little repair you're going to do?
Yeah, that's right. Let's have a look. The exhaust looks pretty cool. I mean, it's not very... No, it's not that cool,
not the
actually.
cleanest of worlds.
No, sorry, can I retract that statement? Yeah, so this is stainless steel, but they've used like mild steel, like a normal MIG, just to weld it up. But it just doesn't look as pretty.
Does the job, but not aesthetical.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. What we got here, so we got your different coilovers, which I think you knew about.
Yeah, because these are JIC Magic, which are horrendous. We are going to be getting new coilovers, but more on that coming up.
Yeah, a bit too stiff. Then you've got your Cusco anti-roll bar,
Yep.
which is relatively unusual. A lot of people don't go for it. You've got your diff. It's all stock mounts there. I mean, this level of rust isn't that bad.
No, you've got to think now, what age, this car is 1988?
Yeah, we'd put some 09, 10, R35 GTRs on the ramp and they'd look as rusty
Really?
or worse than this, yeah.
So generally speaking, it's in really good nick.
Yeah, so we've got a loose sensor here. That's because here would have been your catalytic converter.
Yeah.
So that just was no use anymore. In the dash, there's a wideband. That's for the wideband lander sensor, yeah.
Is that got an EGT probe as well? What's that?
Yeah, that does that. So there should be an EGT gauge in the car.
Yeah, there's not one in there.
No, so the sensor's still there, but as I say, it's aftermarket. That's not Mazda.
Yeah.
The sumps are bad for leaking when they reseal them. So this one doesn't look like it's leaking. We got a bit off the sump plug here.
Yeah.
This is aftermarket oil cooler line there.
Which actually runs up. So where's the oil coolers are actually in the front bumper in these, aren't they?
Yeah, so the oil cooler lines run along here, and then we've got your oil cooler here.
Just in there, yeah. Which you can sort of see if we just pop through there. But you were kind of saying it's not really the ideal place for airflow.
Well, the problem is the air goes in here, and the air will go like past the least resistance. It will just come out. It's really any radiator or any intercooler needs to be ducked.
Yeah.
But it's quite costly, and people generally don't like doing it. But this one's a little bit small. We'll probably look for putting a bigger one in there, maybe on a V formation, or put it back here.
And am I right in saying people sometimes run twin oil coolers on these?
Yeah, the RX7, the later one,
FD.
came with one, and the R2s all came with two.
Ah, okay.
But so we've done some time attack and some track ones, we just put a bigger one on one side.
And
So
you
don't
find
have
it does the job?
Yeah, it's fine, just keep an eye on oil temps. Oil temps and like oil pump, rotary's never really an issue.
Yeah.
You never really have problems.
I mean, how crucial, because with my drift car, I tend to sort of back off at about 120 degrees oil temp. What's the score with rotaries?
We'd want to back off as well, but they don't really get that high. The water temp's the one you really want to watch. So water temp, and on that subject of water temp,
yes.
This is incredibly bad, because there's the bottom of your car there, so you generally have nothing in the engine bay along there. We've got the rad hose and the rad fitting
right at the bottom.
I mean, if you hit something and that gets bust off,
yeah.
It's going to lose all its fluid, and rotaries cannot take heat.
No.
It's going to be blown straight away. And then this bracket here, so you've got a strange bracket.
Scrap metal.
I mean, I don't want to bend it because it would like that. But this is to keep it stronger. And then when they just kink it here, this saddens me.
Yeah.
This would be like someone seeing like a dog tortured someone else.
I mean, we're not trying to diss the previous work, but
no, we don't know who did this.
No, but it hasn't been done to a great standard.
I'm not sure what farmer did it or builder, but yeah. So this is a real problem. So on the E30, we put this on the other side. I don't know why they haven't put the rad up further. I can't. Let's work it out.
That's because you've got that sort of crash bar underneath.
Yeah, I think that kind of chassis leg. But generally, what you do if you get in there, you chop that bar out. You'd raise this up a little bit, and then you'll just weld a new bar in here.
Yeah.
It's just to keep the chassis legs.
Yeah.
So it's really not a big deal. But
and just explain to the audience, because this is obviously a V-mount setup, but these never came with a V-mount originally. It would have had a straight radiator and intercooler.
V-mount's relatively unusual. So normally you've got your intercooler and your rad, and they just sit in front of each other, but one's going to block the other one. So if you've got a V-mount like this, they're both going to get equal air going through them, and they don't block each other.
I mean, the stock positioning probably fine on a standard car or a road car. It doesn't really affect it, but
no, but you're going to be, you want to make it more reliable and stuff like that. So this is really good because all your hot air from your rad's going out there, your intercooler's going out through the engine bay.
Yeah. You're kind of just sort of separating the cooler and the rad from each other, aren't you?
That's right, yeah. But again, this does need ducting. We got this strange kind of foam stuff here.
The other thing, I actually broke the coolant temperature sensor off, but because it's in such a
broke that one.
position,
Is that one there? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, because this rad is so low, the way they positioned it, the sensors are literally touching the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, because it's just crazy to have something that low.
Next up, we're going to be speaking to Creative Ali Rads. I'll put a little link down here so you guys can check out his work. We're going to be making a custom radiator and a custom oil cooler, but you're going to get me some dimensions first.
That's right, yeah, we'll probably give you direction, some dimensions, make a template. We're going to tell him where all the fittings need to be and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And from what you said, I think this guy can do totally custom on that. Would be ideal.
Yeah,
all these problems are going to be eliminated.
And then when we refit it, we can kind of move it up, get it back so it's not kind of hanging on the floor.
Yeah, and we're going to have the fans on, not on a switch inside, because your brain doesn't really want to be controlling the switches. No. You just need, the ECU pumping out the temperature.
Else to think about,
it is, yeah. You don't want to be relying on that, because one day you're sitting in traffic. Oh, I forgot to put the fans on.
And the next thing you know, the car's overheated.
That's right.
We tested the fans. One of them's getting power to it, but it's not actually working. So it's only got one fan working at the moment, which is probably why it's getting so hot. And I think as well, Creative Ali Rads also supply. Is it Spal fans?
Yeah,
which are meant to be
really
some
good.
of the best ones out there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're different. But if you can watch the water temp, like anything like 90ish plus, want fans on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so bear that in mind.
So is that a big bit of advice for sort of any budding RX?
Yeah,
Heat is the thing that really
Heat's the
kills
thing,
them.
yeah. If it starts going over 90, I mean, when I remap them, I put into the Power C and stuff to bring the fans on a bit sooner. So I'm being a bit baby cautious, but 95, it's like getting 100, you get that car turned off straight away.
Yeah, okay.
That's heat's a real killer.
Heat is a real killer with rotaries. Yeah, detonation and heat, like a detonation. So that would be not enough air and fuel in the mixture with a rotary.
Yeah.
It can't stand 1 second. It's going to blow up straight away.
It's like with a regular combustion engine, you kind of got almost 4 individual compartments. With a rotary, it's all in one area.
That's right. Yeah, and with a piston engine, you can tolerate some detonation. It will put up with it. But a rotary, 0. It's kind of an all or nothing kind of engine. So like when we don't retard the ignition or advance it to try and tune it, there are set parameters we can work to, and we can't go over them.
Okay.
But piston engine, you advance ignition here and
kind of
hear it knock a bit and then pull it back. Yeah, you can't do that at all with a rotary.
We're slowly learning. As you guys know, I'm an absolute RX7 novice, but that is why I'm here, because Ross is a RX7 genius. So you can see the turbo there. Because it's actually an S turbo off an S5, which is like the later FC. But we're not too focused. We're going to be changing it out for something a bit bigger.
That's right. Yeah, this is kind of. There's no reason not to. I don't think.
At the moment, we're running a stock ECU on this. Once the car's all finished, we're going to be looking at putting an ECU Master Black on it, which is a full standalone engine management system. And I'll be entrusting Ross to map it, because I've heard he knows a few things.
Got to be pretty pleased with it. You know, it's got.
The chassis not bad at all, is it? I mean,
for a 31-year-old car, it's in good nick.
It is in good nick, yeah.
And you fan of the wheels? I think they're, what are they called?
Velside Andrews, yeah. I bought, I had one of the Velside demo cars, the RX7 they did, and that was just like money, no object. Bought it in from Japan and it turned up. And it was just awesome, yeah, crazy, yeah.
Man, yeah.
So you've got to keep these, just like for the heritage.
Yeah, I'm digging the wheels. They are, like you said, a bit of heritage.
Yeah.
Tyres are crap, but I've got AD08s to go all round.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
I'll put some nice sticky rubber on it.
Spring rate wise, I'm going to be going probably for about 8 kilo front, 5 kilo rear, which you said is okay for a street car.
That's right, it's good for a street car. So in Japan, you'd look at some crazy stuff like 18 kilo and 16 kilo, but they're literally, the roads are there are so nice.
Flat
That's right,
only.
yeah. A real bumpy car, it's just painful to drive.
Bodywork's not actually bad. I mean, there's a few little marks around it, but like we said, for the age of the car, it's actually pretty clean.
Yeah, I mean, RX7s, they don't rust that bad. You know, some stuff you'd see it actually a rot box, you know.
Compared to like
considering it's about the same age as that, those E30s, and they completely rot to hell, you know.
We've had a good look at the underneath of the car. Now we're just going to lower the car down and have a good look at the engine bay and the rest of the interior.
Nice Defi gauges. It's had some nice stuff done to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're a little bit floppy.
Yeah, you just tighten that.
There's a bit of screws in there,
air fuel ratio, Innovert. Yeah, that's good stuff.
And what's that? I wonder if that's the exhaust gas temperature.
It could be, yeah.
We did find a probe, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that model or that brand.
No. We got a stock FC gearbox, which you said should take the power.
Yeah, the gearbox is no problem, but you can feel like the quick shift in there. And it's quite a nice one. Some of them, they kind of fake ones are real naff.
And it's very stiff, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's got a real nice throw to it. Yeah, it's not sort of floppy.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look in here.
The weight of that bonnet.
It's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus. Can we maybe look at getting an FRP or fiberglass bonnet?
I think so, yeah. The later one came with aluminium. It was like real light.
I think you saved about 20 kilos. Just
yeah,
like changing
and the Skyline, the 32 came with aluminium as well.
Yeah. Right, so engine bay.
Engine bay.
Don't laugh. He's already been laughing.
I'm just going to
the fact that someone's painted the block.
I mean, like, just to put this in perspective, this is a black rubber fuel line. It's now looks like it's silver. Like, I don't know. I'm just confused.
So why has someone painted the whole engine bay? Because they couldn't be asked to clean it?
Yeah, they can't be asked to clean it, and I don't know. They probably get up to weird stuff in their spare time.
The thing is, if it was professionally painted, it would actually look nice. But it's kind of
but the thing is, you'd never paint like that clip and that rubber hose. That's just really. But the injector is all covered in paint as well.
Mate, world's first silver RX7 injectors.
Yeah, I mean, what colour are they? Because you just spray them.
Because they usually get green, pink, but we don't know. Ours are silver.
That's right. They're normally like the plastic. You can tell what colour they are and see what size they are. But these are just silver, like everything.
I mean, stuff like this is obviously absolutely useless. You know, this is meant to be ducting, but as you can see, it's floppy. So we need to look at addressing that at some point.
Yeah, we do.
Still got an original MAF sensor.
Yeah, that's right. So
which will obviously junk once we get the ECU on it.
Yeah, that's right. And all this will go, all the stock kind of standard stuff. I like to get rid of as much as possible. Yeah. And if you do like the intercooler and stuff, like really, we'd probably like try and do this all in aluminium, because the more couplers you got, the more chance of something going wrong. Yeah. Something falling off. Let's have a look at the other side. There's some little oil leaks, but they're real marginal. It could be from when people have been filling it with oil and things like that, to be honest. There's no
sort of major signs.
No major signs.
Oh look, it's got a dump valve. Sick. One thing Ross did notice is that we don't seem to have adequate fuel pressure. Well, doesn't seem to be any pressure in the lines.
No, well, it's coming off. We've probably got a bit of a leak there.
Fuel leak?
So yeah, but it should hold pressure.
And then ignition system, Ross, is this all stock?
Yeah, these are some this is old school, like these monster coils. They're actually stock.
Worth upgrading? Is that a popular thing in the RX7 world?
You don't really upgrade the coils. You put like an ignition amplifier on there when you want to run more boost, or if you're running water injection.
Quite a learning curve with these cars, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You've got 4. So there's your 4 spark plugs, but really it's kind of just 2 spark plugs in a way. It's 2 rotors, if that makes sense. These top ones just clean up the combustion chamber. These are the real ones that do something. So if we compression test it, you just do one and then the other.
We've got even more scrap metal brackets. They are interesting. Luckily for me, you do in-house fabrication, so we can start getting rid of all these horrible, random.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't even do that just like a test mock-up fit. I just wouldn't even allow that to happen. I just look at it. I don't know.
Well, look, at least you sprayed them through.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? What's wrong with it? I want to just remove this. I mean, look, how is that doing anything? what the hell?
I mean, 10 out of 10 for effort.
Well, if it flexes like that, how can it support this?
So that gives you guys an idea of all the sort of little faults the FC has. We're just going to pop upstairs to Ross's parts bin to see what goodness he's got lying around. Why don't we just show the audience how our rotary works? Because I mean, it's actually not very complicated at all once you understand it.
No, that's right. So I made this. This has just been cut away like this for porting because I want to know how far where the side seal needs to travel and stuff like that. So air comes in here. So we're going to put it back like that.
Yeah.
So air comes in through here.
Just remind you, and obviously, but have a whole casing around it.
Yeah, this would be like the rotor housings and everything would be there. If you imagine air and fuel comes in here, the rotor goes around,
compresses it
up here. Then you come to this side where the spark plugs will be, and bang, you're going to get a spark plug, and that'll throw it back round.
And that gives you the.
And on 3 sides, it's always constantly moving.
And obviously with a twin rotor, you've effectively got 2 of these, is that right?
Yeah, it's pretty much, the other rotor goes on this part. This is called the eccentric shaft or the crank. This is a rotor housing here. Okay. That's your leading and trailing coils.
And obviously that sits round there, and that obviously allows it to do the whole combustion process.
Yeah, that's right. And the inlet air, and you would have the exhaust here. This comes out here and goes onto your turbo.
Am I right in saying with a quad rotor, you've effectively got 4 of those?
Yeah, it's simple, and you can have a 1 rotor engine.
And then over here, gearboxes, clutches.
Yeah, diff, RX8 diff there.
I think there's my new filter, perfect.
If you're that excited, if you like it.
Yeah, Blitz.
You like the
ones?
Blitz one, yeah. Yeah, that one there is,
One thing, Ross, is the oil metering pump, because a lot of my fans were asking in the comment section why we're running 2-stroke oil in the fuel.
Yeah, so you're doing that because someone's removed the oil metering pump, and the reason they've done that is almost like a safety. So Mazda, they've got to lubricate the apex seals basically, so they come up with a system where they inject it into the rotor housings. So the principle is that people thought it's more efficient or more safe if you put it in yourself. Yeah. So on that one, someone's deleted it, so you've now got to compensate.
And run 2-stroke
Yeah, so
oil.
you run it's like a 2-stroke layer. So you basically, it's like your strimmer. Do you want to talk about that too much because people make jokes about it?
Literally a lawnmower.
Yeah, or a chainsaw. You got to add oil in because it will lubricate it. So it's a similar system to that.
Okay.
And then various things. Opie used to supply us with the real cool, genuine one, like caster based, and it smells really nice. And that's the more suitable when you want to ride. Yeah, most people.
We've got Mr. Opiols here, so as long as we're really nice, I'm sure we can get lots of good lubricants.
Yeah.
We can sort something out, yes, absolutely.
So you've got potential of like a jet getting blocked and stuff like that. To be honest, it didn't really go wrong that badly, but it's kind of more inconvenient because, but for you, it's not too bad, but your general car person's going to be, what the hell am I doing? Yeah. Putting oil in my fuel. They're going to be like going crazy.
The greatest thing for me is the smell. It smells like an old sort of quad bike.
Yeah, that was a bit of a complaint they got with the RX8 because you got random guy or woman's bought it and they're like, why is my oil going down? And they assumed it's oil leaking, but no, it's pumping the oil. Yeah. It uses your engine oil.
It's consumption.
Yeah, and that's why they wanted you to run a non-synthetic oil. Because the oil is being used not just to lubricate the engine like parts, but it's being put into combustion chamber, and they didn't think it would burn as well.
Makes sense.
But to be honest, the latest synthetic oils, I worked again with OP, and we discovered we could run synthetic oils in it, and it'd be injected. It was fine. Yeah, but Mazda wouldn't recommend it. So.
And I guess that's where the sort of reliability things comes in, because people weren't expecting to maybe rebuild engines or to get oil loss, so maybe that's why they got a stigma. But in reality, they're actually reliable lumps.
Yeah, it's kind of like the thing with that you don't have a bad dog, you've got a bad owner, and it kind of goes back to that. The cars aren't inherently bad, They need to be.
It's the numpties that own them.
Last thing on this, Ross. Obviously, we're going to try and achieve a reliable sort of 400-ish horsepower. I'm taking it the S5 turbo on there can't run that kind of power.
No, that turbo literally can't make 400. So you're going to need to go for a bigger turbo. But you don't want to go
massive one.
Well, you can go really big if you want, but it's going to come in later in the revs.
Laggy.
So really, you want the smallest turbo that's going to get the horsepower you want.
Yeah.
So instead of you get a turbo that comes in 3.5. 3,700, and then you've got a nice power band to 8 grand, you've got 4,000 revs. Yeah. If you just said, let's go for that monster one, like the one over there.
Waiting to 7 grand.
You're going to be, you're going to get, and with this in like tuned to revs, so you can have 1,000 RPM. It's going to be no good.
With, yeah.
So you want to look at what horsepower you want, and then pick the smallest turbo that comes in that part of the compressor map. So something like if you were looking at like HKS brands, something like a Tier 4Z or something like that is going to be really good.
Garrett's like
GT35. So yeah. Around there, a little bit smaller than Z, so around there. But bear in mind with a rotary, it works differently, so it doesn't make quite as much horsepower as a piston engine will make on that turbo, because the exhaust pulses. It creates like it will spool the turbo nicer and kind of earlier in the revs.
You've almost got to go a little bit bigger on an RX7.
Yeah, you've got to, because they will rate turbos for piston engines. So like if it's rated for 750, it's going to do about 600 on a rotary. But on the flip side of that, they do kind of come in sooner. 1300cc, it's like spooling up. Like Supras are awful for it. Yeah, you got real lag. You see one with a nice T88 turbo, and you just sit in there, and they're so dead.
You're like, wait, and then when it hits, boom!
Yeah, and then the problem is then it's wheel spun. You're like, take next gear, and then you're waiting again.
And then, so the aim with this really is to try and get it responsive and drivable for the street, because it's going to be a street.
I think a 400 horsepower cool car, it'd be really nice, it'd be fun. It's tempting to go for the big turbo, but unless you're running good boost through it, it's just going to be.
And then you've got the other things to consider: diff, drive shafts, gearbox.
That's right.
All affected by big horsepower.
That's right. Yeah, you're going to it's more a headache.
We've also got another little treat today, because Guy from Opie's got a bit of a naughty Altezza waiting for us.
That doesn't sound like it's got a Beams engine.
No, it doesn't.
So this is now a 1UZ V8.
It is, yes.
Cool, man. Lovely set of raised gram lights as well. Super lightweight wheel. Yeah.
Yep, been refurbished.
That's cool, man. Surprising you could fit such a big engine in these little cars, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, they should have made one with it.
Roughly how much horsepower now?
Just stock 250. Okay. It's an early thick rod engine, so it's got a force bottom end essentially. So
much thicker conrods, haven't they?
That's right. Yeah. So you can run boost and stuff, but instead of boost, I'm currently doing nitrous.
Oh, look at that! He's got nitrous, everybody!
No replacement for displacement.
Burnout confirmed. That was sick, man. Mate, it's got so much torque.
Yeah.
You don't expect it, do you?
Instant.
Because the thing with these is they haven't got massive horsepower figures, but the torque is where they're quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Highly irresponsible. Right, that pretty much wraps up today's episode. I'm going to be back next week with Ross. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Loads more action coming up with the old FC. So yeah, see you soon.